In beautiful Aotearoa, New Zealand, we've been lucky enough in the past to have land around our houses to grow food in. But as our population grows, particularly in Auckland, we're intensifying the housing. One house on a big site like this is being knocked down, and then, like in this complex, 10 families can live where one used to. This means, however, that our spaces to grow food are limited. It doesn't mean, though, that just because you don't have a big backyard, that you can't grow food. We're here to show you how to grow wonderful nutrient-dense vegetables and fruit in containers where we maximise the space available. I'm going to take you through the key components of growing food organically in containers and share some tips about how to keep the production up and hopefully have a lot of fun along the way. And these are the people we're going to help grow food for. This is Chantal and Clinton's new house. It's got a beautiful big deck out here which gets a lot of afternoon sun. It is shaded till about 11 o'clock by their two-storey house, and it does get a little bit of wind coming through from this angle which could cause some problems. But it will give us a chance to grow some great vegetables for this family. This is Pascal's place. She has a back patio on the other side of the building which is currently used as a children's play area. It only gets a little bit of morning sun, so really is not suitable for us to be growing vegetables on. The area we are going to look at is the small 10-metre square courtyard, which is really well sheltered, gets great afternoon sun. Best of all, it's got this block wall which acts as a heat sink, so it absorbs the heat through the day, reflects back at night, but even better it was painted white because we're going to get a lot of reflected light in here as well. Layla's site is a balcony. It's a small deck of 7 square metres, level 3, so quite high up. Picks up a bit of the wind, but the beauty of it, it gets good afternoon sun beginning at around about 11 o'clock in the morning. The balcony deck has got a good overhanging roof, so we're going to have a go at doing a hanging tomato. Choosing your site is the first decision. Vegetables need at least 6 to 8 hours of sun a day. They need to grow quickly to be strong and nutrient dense, so sites with afternoon sun are better than morning, and all day sun is the best. The second decision is what to grow. So Shadrach, what sort of vegetables do you like?
I like broccoli and cucumbers and cauliflower.
So broccoli we can get away, that's a winter vegetable, that will grow on planters. Cucumbers we're coming up to because it's coming into summer. So what sort of vegetables do you like to eat, Frederica?
Cucumbers.
Cucumbers, yeah, we can grow those. Nari, what about you?
Tomatoes.
And tomatoes.
I really love eating bok choy and capsicum.
I enjoy bok choy, cucumbers, capsicums.
And Pascal, what sort of vegetables do you enjoy eating?
Tomatoes, carrots, lettuce.
Broccoli.
That's a good winter one, we can grow that next year. Now, Layla, what sort of vegetables do you like?
Cucumber, tomatoes, any chilies. I like to have garlic and with mint.
Now the summer vegetables, the tomatoes and the cucumbers are things we'll be actually doing out on your deck this summer. It's a nice hot spot. Now the mint really should be in a container by itself. It's very vigorous, it will spread out and take over, and the garlic is a long-term crop, midwinter to midsummer, so really it's not ideal for containers. So now we have the list, let's sow the seeds. You need a little kit consisting of potting mix, a garden sieve, punnets, recycled meat or veggie trays, and something to make the furrows and label the seeds, plus some liquid seaweed, and of course the seeds. Try to buy your seeds a couple of weeks before you want to sow them and just pop them in the fridge. That way when you bring them out, the shock of the warmth assists with germination. Okay, for seed sowing mix, we actually need the potting mix to be quite fine. So what we can do is use our normal potting mix here and just with a sieve and get all the lumps out of it. Shake it just gently. Perfect. There we go, smooth that out. Now that we've filled our punnets with our seed raising mix, it's time to create some furrows, and we're using a dowel for this. So the furrows should be roughly twice the diameter of the seeds that you're going to sow. So the next stage, a very important stage, is to write some labels up with the name of the seed and the date. So we know that if after 2 or 3 weeks the seed hasn't germinated, it's either old seed or bad seed, and we need to start all over again. Sow 1 or 2 more seeds than you need because you'll get about a 95% germination rate. and don't sow them too thickly. It makes it much easier when they're pricked out. So once the seeds are sown into the furrow, very gently just knock the sides together in so you're covering them over. And then gently pat down the soil just to firm it into place, but don't pat too hard. Big seeds of big plants like cucumber don't need to be sown or pricked out. They can go straight into the pot that they'll be planted out from. That's it.
1, 2.
Just very gently push them down like that. There we go, look at those, aren't they funny looking seeds?
Whoa.
Perfect. So the last step is to put the seedlings in a water bath, and what we'll do is put some concentrate liquid seaweed in there, which really helps with the damping off. Liquid seaweed is one of the basics in the organic gardener's toolkit. So you can see that these punnets have got little holes underneath.
Yeah,
so what happens when we put it in the water?
The water will go through the holes.
That's
and
right.
Make it
And make it all wet
black.
on the top. So what's going to happen over the next few
It's
minutes?
floating.
Yeah, sometimes they do, so it's important to remember to keep the water level low. The idea is to have it just half the depth of whatever you're putting in. If it's too much water in it, the seeds will actually float out of the potting mix, and that's the last thing we want to happen. When the punnets are soaked through, place on a recycled meat or veggie tray, and we'll put the seeds in a light, warm spot, and a windowsill with some morning sun is ideal. Chantal and Clinton's family like potatoes, and potatoes grow well in containers. Early spring, once any chance of frost has passed, is the time to plant the early varieties. They don't store well and need eating straight away. Before planting, you need to make sure they have nice sized chits on them. Soaking them for 15 to 30 minutes in a bath of liquid seaweed once a week for 3 to 4 weeks to ensure the seed potatoes are strong and disease resistant. Then sit them in a light, warm spot in an egg container so the emerging chits won't get knocked. And our final job for the day is putting some strawberry plants in. This is an example of one of the planters we're going to be using. It's a recycled pellet. It's heat treated, not chemically treated, which is really good for the plants. To aid longevity though, we're actually going to be lining it with plastic. Okay, so we're just adding some organic sheep pellets into the soil here. Just give us a good nitrogen boost for when the plants are really starting to move. The earlier they go in, the better. So if you've made plants from runners that grow in autumn, you can plant them out in early winter. The longer they're in the soil, the bigger the roots will grow and the more lush the plant, and therefore the more big, fat, juicy fruit in summer. The variety we're using is Camarosa, which has a long season and big, red, beautiful strawberries on it. Now strawberries, unlike most vegetables, like a fairly acidic soil. So to change the pH, we're going to use flowers of sulphur just sprinkled around the top of the potting mix. Dig it all in there, that's it. Sprinkle that in. Perfect. So the first thing we do is just dig a hole deep enough to put the plant into. So you can see that's nice and deep there. And then you put 2 fingers either side of the plant, and out it comes nice and easy. And we just push it in the hole and just very gently, and then just a little bit of a push. Okay, so here we go. You want to dig a hole? Here we go. You want to take the plant, put it in the hole? Perfect. Nice and firm down. Use your leftover liquid seaweed to water the strawberry plants. Okay, that's enough for the first day. Next time we'll have the rest of the containers here. We'll be able to prick out seedlings, we'll sow root vegetables, and we'll be planting fruit trees.